This is what happens when the fourth turning meets fifth generation warfare.
A commentator, international social media sensation, and former Navy intelligence veteran.
This is Human Events with your host, Jack Posobiec.
Christ is king.
Google is releasing its list of top search trends of 2025.
2025's top search trend in the U.S. was Charlie Kirk.
We're seeing the chilling moments after Luigi Mangione allegedly shot and killed United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside a New York City hotel. You can see the shooter walk toward the victim, appearing to briefly glance down as he lay dying on the sidewalk before turning to cross the street, then starting to run, disappearing down an alley. This week, new evidence is being revealed in court as accused killer Luigi Mangione sits and watches.
After a shooting, gunshots fired there at the home of Tim Pool, who, of course, is known as a big political commentator with millions upon millions of fans on different social media platforms.
Meanwhile, two new polls show a notable number of young Americans accept some form of political violence, a shift from generations before them. In its biannual youth poll, the Harvard Institute of Politics revealed that 39% of Americans ages 18 to 29 showed some acceptance of political violence, while a poll from Gallup and the Kettering Foundation shows 30% of 18 to 29-year-olds say political violence is sometimes okay. That's the highest portion of any age group.
The Supreme Court says it will hear an expedited appeal of President Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship by executive order. The court did not explain its decision, and the case will likely be heard next spring. For more than 100 years, courts, interpreted the Constitution to give U.S. citizenship to anyone born on American soil, regardless of the legal status of the parents. Now, that may hang in the balance.
Should they be allowed to buy Warner Brothers? Should Netflix?
Well, that's the question. They have a very big market share. And when they have Warner Brothers, that share goes up a lot. So I don't know. That's going to be for some economists to tell. And also, and I'll be involved in that decision, too. They have a very big market share.
All right, Jack, so we are back live. Human Events Daily, Real America's Voice. Today is December 8th, 2025. Anno Domini. Ave Maria. Folks, President Trump, you just heard him winding in there and stepping in saying that the Netflix deal with Warner Brothers could have some problems. And this, of course, amid the massive Stranger Things scandal, the Obama scandal that has been coming out over to light over the last couple of weeks, really since I would say Thanksgiving is when this all rolled out. And what we've done, by the way, here at Human Events Daily is we took that portion of us breaking down how all of this ties together from Thought Crime last week, and we've released that as a special episode so that everyone can go and dig in. If you don't want to listen to the whole episode, that's fine. Just dig in. We've released it as a separate standalone special on, and I'm just calling it out. I'm calling it out for what it is. Netflix put pedo programming in Stranger Things. Now, I can't sit here and say that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama ordered that, but what I can also see, and what we can all see, the world can see, is that Barack Obama, Michelle Obama signed a massive deal with Netflix going all the way back to what? 2018. Then when Susan Rice left the Biden administration, came back to Netflix, they extended the Obama's deal with Netflix. So do you wonder, when did Netflix get so woke? Why did every single thing they do have to turn into gay race communism? Why did every single adaptation have to become racial and LGBT? Why did everything that Netflix did, especially for kids, have to be LGBT? Well, it's interesting because if you track the trajectory of Stranger Things, you say, all right, season 1, amazing, right? So good. And it was a show about small town mystery, throwing a sci-fi element, super 1980s nostalgia vibes, instant hit. They even talked about MK Ultra back in them there days. But then all of a sudden, the show just got, and I'm going to say it again, the show got gayer and gayer and gayer and gayer and gayer and gayer. And now season 5, you've basically got gay Darth Vader versus gay Luke Skywalker. And they go back and throw in this thing with Will when he was a little kid. So they go back to season 1, completely disgusting, utterly revolting. And anyone who saw this with eyes to see knows exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to beleaguer the point, but they did this, and you can't separate the Obamas' influence from what they did and from what is in the #1 show around the world. And so we're going to call it out. And Netflix, they can do whatever they want. But so Netflix, here's the state of play. So Netflix had to bid in to Warner Brothers and said, well, we don't want all the TV channels. We don't want CNN. We don't want TNT. We'll give you $83 billion. Now, Paramount comes out this morning and says, you know what? We'll put in $108 billion. Hostile offer, goes straight to the shareholders, bypasses the board, bypasses all the woke lefties that they have up there who are tight with the Obamas because they know who's on the board. Susan Rice is on the board. Susan Rice, who's Obama's board member on Netflix. That's why Paramount is bypassing them, because they know Susan Rice is going to block anything. So they say more money, more shareholder value, more dollars per share, right? 30s versus 23, and every single aspect of Warner Brothers would be in this deal. And what did President Trump say last night at the Kennedy Center? He said the deal could have big problems because of the antitrust issues going in with too much market share to the streamers. Plus, he even came out today and said he's not too happy with Paramount either because of what they're doing with CBS and 60 Minutes. Folks, we're in the hunt on this thing. We're absolutely in the hunt. And President Trump has everyone exactly where he wants them. We'll be right back. Human Events Daily continues.